What's going on, Hawkeye fans? It's your boy, Nolan Hawkeye Anthony here. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic week wherever you may be and however you may be listening. I've got a jam-packed show for you guys today. We're going to be diving into Iowa wide receiver commit Jacob Bostick out of Illinois, the 6'3" wideout who chose the Hawkeyes a couple of weeks ago. We're going to be taking a look at him real quick and giving a nice evaluation and analysis. But before I do that, I want to ask you to hit the subscribe button. It really means a lot when you do that. It means a ton. We have seen an absolute uptick in subscribers. The past video almost got or will more than likely get 1,000 views because one guy, and I'm going to give him a shout out, decided to share this out and blast the Desante Bowen eval video out. All it takes is for one person to just be really excited about the content, and it makes all the difference in the world. Let's see here. Monte Bainter, shout out to you. Thank you for what you did. It really meant a lot. And for the rest of y'all out there, please, again, subscribe, like, and at the very least, comment, chat, talk with me. I live all the way out in California, so talking with you Hawkeye fans across the country, that is the beauty of technology. It really means a lot. And last but not least, be sure to catch the NHA Podcast, all things Iowa Hawkeye sports, every Wednesday, and be sure to go to 247hawkeye.com. Here is Jacob Bostick's 247 Sports profile, and he checks in rated an 86 or graded an 86 on 247 Sports scale. The composite ranking has him at as an 80, a 0.8688, so almost a 0.87. I believe a four-star individual. A 9000 would be the lowest. Actually, I believe it's somewhere in the 89 is the lowest somebody can be for a four-star composite guy. And when it comes to the 247 Sports, just the 247 Sports, a 90 is the lowest somebody can be for a four-star prospect. I am super pumped for this eval, especially because it comes at the wide receiver position, a position that Iowa has started to come on strong, but throughout the Kirk Ferentz era, it has been riddled mostly with successful walk-ons and, quite frankly, unspectacular, shall we say, medium-sized recruits. If you look at Keenan Davis out of Iowa, he had a decent career, but still underperformed. You look at guys like that, and that's just how it's been at Iowa. And quite frankly, Iowa, in my eyes, haven't had the best wide receiver coaches. But that has all changed with my guy, Kelton Copeland, becoming the wide receiver coach at the University of Iowa. And he has upgraded that position from the moment he stepped on campus. His first recruiting class, I believe, had Amir Smith-Marset and Brandon Smith. And before that, they actually had a few other wide receiver commits. It may not have been Kelton Copeland himself. It may have been Bobby Kennedy. But that is when it all changed, was with those guys. And at the end of the day, if Kelton Copeland did not get those guys, he did develop them, which was a huge deal. Both of them, one of them will be playing this upcoming season in the NFL. But in my eyes, I think both of them will have some role. Both Amir Smith-Marset, both of them will have a role in the NFL in this upcoming season. Bottom line, folks, Kelton Copeland has done a fantastic job. Iowa would have not had a chance with a guy like Jacob Bostick. Quite frankly, they had to go get guys like Amir Smith-Marset, where they were just diamonds in the rough. They had to do that. When Bobby Kennedy stepped onto Iowa's campus, and I'm not saying I agreed with this statement, he said, and Greg Davis said, that they needed to upgrade the wide receiver position with more speed. What they ended up doing is neither. They didn't really upgrade the position, and it wasn't, any faster. And in fact, some of the wide receivers who were walk-ons were running 4.3. Riley McCarron ran a 4.340. But the bottom line is Iowa would not have had a chance with a guy like Jacob Bostick before Kelton Copeland arrived on campus. And to put this into perspective, I'm just going to give you guys a list and the ranking of the Iowa wide receivers, and I have it as a tweet, that Kelton Copeland has landed since stepping onto the Iowa campus. Here we are. I put this on my Facebook. Also, by the way, my Twitter is @247 Hawkeye. Go give me a little follow. I will get behind soon if I don't start now, yada, yada, yada. It is unreal what Kelton Copeland has been able to do, starting with Keegan Davis out of Nebraska. The fact that Iowa was able to take him out of Nebraska was a great, great sign. And on top of that, his dad played for Nebraska. I think it shows where the University of Iowa is, and it shows where Nebraska currently stands. In that same class, Iowa landed Arland Bruce, who was a little bit under-recruited, but then showed out in two states, Iowa and Kansas, and became a 4-star guy. And in the class before that, Iowa got a commitment from Deontay Vines, which again, before Kelton Copeland got on campus, Iowa would not have even had a chance, and they landed him. This is yet another. Here it is. It is just unreal, the success that he has had since stepping on to Iowa's campus. At the end of the day, it matters what the guy is able to do when he gets on campus, but this is a positive sign for what is to come at the University of Iowa, and Kelton Copeland has done a phenomenal job. All right, enough praise for Kelton Copeland. As you guys can see, Jacob Bostick checks in at about 6'2", 6'3", which in 170 pounds, which in my eyes is perfect, because when you get to about 6'1" or 6 foot, you tend to play the Y position as opposed to the position that Brandon Smith played. At the end of the day, the X position is for a wide receiver that can go up and get 50-50 balls. And to me, and I'm going to tell you guys, Jacob Bostick's track numbers, which are incredible, but to me, he can play both. He has that athleticism and size, and when he gets to Iowa, he will only get more athletic and more muscular, which is very, very important. As you guys can see, Illinois, Louisville, just to name a few teams, were on his, were trying to land his services. Cincinnati, schools like that, Navy, Pittsburgh, good schools, good, strong schools. And, as he said, for Iowa, what did it for him at the end of the day was that Iowa wins. They know how to develop, and it was close to home. And that is why Iowa has been able, and I said this a long time ago, when Lovie Smith would get 4-star prospects from the state of Missouri, but could not land the top prospects in his own state. Iowa and Wisconsin have been able to go into the state of Illinois and really pluck out some of that state's top-tier talent. Now, with Brett Bielema there, this is a subject for another day. Things might change, and I do think you're already kind of seeing that with the mid-level success that Brett Bielema has been able to have right away. But we're not talking about Illinois. We're talking about the University of Iowa. Either way, it was a big deal that Iowa was able to go into another state at a position that they have only started to be decent at and get a prospect like Jacob Bostick. As we can see here, in only a few games, I think it was 6 games because Illinois had a shortened season, he had 31 catches for 450 yards and 9 touchdowns. Right there, that shows right off the bat that this dude is, in fact, a playmaker. His own words, as far as Iowa goes, the recruiting process was phenomenal. My family and I looked for honesty, transparency, and consistency throughout the whole thing. We just wanted clear and concise communication. I definitely would say Iowa did a fantastic job on that, and Iowa does do a great job on that. Now, I wish they would be a little bit more confident about their success, because at the end of the day, they are one of the top Big Ten teams at putting guys into the NFL. I like reading these analysis from other individuals just to give some perspective. He's a highly coachable kid, very important. Extremely long frame, true. Does a great job catching away from his body. That was the first thing that stuck out to us. Very athletic. So when he started training with us and working with us, he was more of a track athlete. So I'd say one thing Iowa is getting is someone that is raw, but is a freak track athlete, which you can't really ask for more if you're Iowa. That is exactly what you want, because you know, as an Iowa coach, all you need is the basics, and you can turn that guy into a top level individual. And I can say, looking back at my college career, really all I needed were the athletic tools. Obviously, I needed to be somewhat good at water polo, but once I got to Division I water polo level, they took care of the rest. That is especially the case when the coaches are Hall of Fame level coaches, which is what Iowa has unquestionably. The numbers for this guy in the track world just they completely stand out, and I am incredibly impressed. I'm going to try and find his 100-yard dash numbers, but here he jumps 18 feet. That is absolutely incredible, and that, to me, even before we look at the film, that shows explosion. His numbers could have improved from this. This is just a website, and perhaps I will find it. If you are able to find a different number for these testing results, comment below. Just go ahead, let everybody know. But either way, running a 12.56, and you're not even a senior in high school yet, fully. You don't even have your full grown man muscles. That is flying. And listen, if one of the analysts say that he is a crazy athlete, I absolutely believe it. I am going to try and find numbers that I feel really, really good about. But either way, 12.56 is absolutely flying. And here we are. There are the testing numbers. I actually tweeted him for the testing numbers. Turns out he's already got it. These are insane. It is unreal that somebody below 18 years of age can do this. He nearly has a 40-inch vert. Now, listen, I don't know how perfect the numbers are, but I'm sure they're close, and that is what matters. And he runs a 4.56 40, and at 6'2", 6'3", that's impressive. The crazy thing is, he might end up being 6'4" before he gets to Iowa. The reality is, some of these guys, the profiles we see, they're still growing. So Jacob Bostick here could easily become 6'4" by the time he gets to Iowa. He'll probably still go to Iowa 6'2", 6'3", but it's certainly possible you could end up being 6'4". Either way, being able to run a 4.56 at that size and age before he even has his man muscles yet is absolutely incredible. And listen, folks, it just makes me excited for the future because during my lifetime, it has been rare for Iowa to have this kind of success recruiting at the wide receiver position. All right, let's turn on these highlights and let's see what is going on here. We'll let that play on its own. Overall, while this is going through the ad, Iowa has, I think, 7 commits right now. I do think it was a mistake for them to have their official visit last because it gave other teams a chance before them. And a lot of times, I went through the process. Recruits don't listen to logic. They listen to their emotions. And whoever can speak to those emotions the best usually lands the player. And just because the guy is going off his emotions doesn't mean you wouldn't want him at your school. It just, he's young. All right, here we go. This is kind of small. Let's see if we can get something here on the YouTube. I'm so happy I found this video. He is very physically, the frame is exactly what you asked for. It's literally, this is what you want in a wide receiver. Look at how long. Look at how long he is. He's got big hands. That's great for somebody at the wide receiver position. Absolutely great for the wide receiver position. Let's see if we can. Here we go. Jeez. Wow. So that is a legit 38.5-inch vertical leap. Good Lord. He is very explosive. Wow. His running gait, what you call a runner's gait, it's perfect. You can tell he was a track athlete, and that bodes well because the smoother you run, the easier it is to learn everything else. It makes everything that much easier. It really, really does. All right, let's watch some football film. He may not have a ton because there's only 6 games, but we're going to check it out anyway. Well, guys, this is really all I could find. I couldn't see any highlights on YouTube, but I can see this just fine. Let me see if I can. Right off the bat, the thing that I am probably the most excited about is his frame. You are hard pressed to find a better frame than what this guy has at such a young age. Let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see more of the highlights. There we go. There we go. Yeah, my guess is he can play both the X and the Y. It's obvious he has no problem with 50-50 balls. But the Y position, the X position is for a possession wide receiver. If you guys remember the college football game on Xbox, there was the term possession receiver. And the X is more that. The Y is more of the longer routes. the faster guy, so to speak. Wow. Honestly, guys, I think that this dude is going to end up being a high 3-star, low 4-star guy. I think with the full season, his numbers are going to be through the roof. I think as he starts to focus more solely on football, I think that this guy is it. I would not be shocked if he becomes a 4-star wide receiver, because one thing you guys have to remember is just because a guy is a certain ranking early on, folks, when they are this age, there is still so much room for growth. And a lot of guys blossom in their senior year. And if you remember Kirk Ferentz, what he said with the recruiting process speeding up, he didn't want to miss some seniors that he has always gotten that happened to develop later. Mr. Bostick, you are a very smooth athlete. I will say that right now. That's as good as a catch you're going to see. I mean, he delivered that right in the middle. I do want to say this for myself. All I need to see is that he has some natural football ability. But to be honest, at the wide receiver position, what I am more interested in are the physical tools he has before getting to Iowa, because I know Iowa will develop the other things. They'll develop him physically as well. But Iowa, if you have the physical traits, Iowa will teach you the football stuff. And that makes me excited. All right, let's check out this kick return. Power up! Woo! Oh, he got caught. He got caught. And Illinois is a good state for football. It really is. If Brett Bielema can get it, a smidge of Illinois, a smidge of what they can be. I've always said on the NHA podcast that the school that was underperforming the most was Illinois, because it is a fertile recruiting state. And yeah, you're competing against a school like Northwestern, but still Northwestern can only get certain guys. If they don't meet the academic requirements, they can't get them. That's 2 catches he has caught down the middle and just snatched it right up. Wow. It makes you wonder about the recruiting rankings, because when I see this, what I see is a very athletic guy that is Division I level, which, to be honest, is what I see with all the Division I guys, because it's the Division I level. I don't really see 3-star, 4. I mean, I know what it is in my mind, but I don't see 3-star, 4-star as much as I see, okay, this is a Big Ten caliber guy, which to me is a 4-star level guy. And this guy certainly is that. He most certainly is that. All right, here we go. Nice. Closing remarks. Listen, guys, very excited about the upside of this guy. He is clearly a Big Ten caliber player. I can see why Kelton Copeland went after him so hard. Physically, he has all the tools. He has every tool you require to be a Big Ten level athlete. And he has it in spades, quite frankly. He has it in spades. I wouldn't be shocked in the least if Jacob Bostick becomes a low 4-star guy, becoming the third 4-star wide receiver. Because when I watch his tape, I think he's further along or just as far along as both Arlen Bruce and Keegan Johnson. And he's only going to improve. He's not even a senior yet. Not even a senior. So I think that is the level he is at, the range he is at. I think he made an excellent choice picking the Hawkeyes. At the end of the day, Iowa takes their guys, and if your goal is to play on Sundays, Iowa is the place to go. They will turn you into an NFL player and person. And that's just what they do. Again, this dude has all the physical tools to become a starter at the University of Iowa. And I couldn't be more excited. A huge get for Kelton Copeland. He's been on a roll. Hopefully he can land a few more guys in this recruiting class. But this was an excellent pickup for the Iowa Hawkeyes. All right, guys, be sure to subscribe, share, and at the very least, like and comment. I really appreciate it when you do that. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. You guys can check out previous videos, for guys like Carson May, Jack Dotzler, videos like that, Desante Bowen. I have been so happy with the reaction that I have gotten from these videos, and it makes me so excited for the future. And I am more than happy to share this material with you. Be sure to listen to the NHA Podcast every Wednesday and go to 247hawkeye.com. And remember, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow, and facts or feelings, because your feelings don't matter. Go Hawks, y'all.